What's up YouTube, ODST General back again with another Intersystem news update. It has been about 6 months, guys. It's been a while. And a lot of stuff has happened, a lot of stuff has changed, both within Operation Trebuchet and the huge variety of community mods, unit mods, stuff like that. So we've got a lot to talk about. With that being said, we're going to split this into 2, maybe even 3 videos, depending on how much content I have to talk about outside of Operation Trebuchet. For today, Operation Trebuchet is going to be the main focus of the Intersystem news, and we're going to take a look at Optre and First Contact and see what's happened over the past 6 months or so. So thankfully, this video shouldn't be too much terribly longer than a normal video would be. Hopefully we can actually keep it maybe even a little bit under that, since we're just focusing on the one mod, but we'll see how things go. Anyways, let's go ahead and get started. So, starting us off for Operation Trebuchet, we're going to start with armor like normal. The Insurrectionists got a little bit of a touch-up in terms of their texture, stuff like that. So, of course, these are just the standard green helmet Insurrectionists, the kind of cannon fodder that probably a lot of you guys have fought so much you're kind of sick of. With that being said, because they are so commonly fought and they are, you know, really the most unique human enemies that you can kind of normally face outside of maybe the battle jumpers, it is nice to see these guys got a little bit of a touch-up, improvements. There's definitely some room for that with these guys, so it's a nice change to see that happening. However, more exciting to me, Spartan armor. Spartan armor got a bunch of new permutations, new shoulders, new helmets, new colors. The armor is now also available for regular human skeletons, so you don't need the Spartan skeleton to wear Spartan armor, which is going to be great news to a lot of people, so you'll see that. Yeah, really exciting stuff there. Great change, wonderful, and I'm happy to see it. Then we have the addition of Fireteam Zulu assets, so specifically the night vision goggle or helmet add-on attachments. And yeah, those were added into the mod officially. Now, of course, this is an older asset that's been around for a while, but with that being said, it is nice to see that officially get added in. So, of course, that means that people won't need the extra dependency of Fireteam Zulu to use this particular asset. With that being said, Fireteam Zulu will have additional news and stuff that needs to be covered, but of course, because that's not part of Optre officially, we're going to talk about the rest of that in the next video whenever that comes out. So then we're going to move over to some new factions that were added on. 2 new factions, or 1 old faction and 1 new faction, were added to Operation Trebuchet. The police faction was updated. Police uniforms and stuff are now back in, as well as spawnable police classes. There's new police warthogs and pelican and stuff. So, yeah, great stuff. I always liked the police look with the riot helmet, with the black helmet and the orange visor. It was just really cool, so I'm excited to have that back in game. It's just a really cool looking infantry, I guess. I don't know if you could call the riot police an infantrymen, but that's basically what they are in Halo, aren't they? So, pretty exciting stuff for me. However, they're a pretty small faction when taken in comparison to the next one, which is the CMA. So the CMA is currently using some placeholder assets, and they've got a huge selection of retextured vehicles, both from Optre and Vanilla Game. They're using mostly Vanilla Game assets for their gear in combination with some, you know, Optre weapons, but most of their armor and stuff is base game. Definitely kind of a unique look, but with that being said, a lot of people have stated that they're not really a fan of the particular armor because it is vanilla. With that being said, the Optre devs have said this is a placeholder. However, I haven't heard anything about new armor being developed, so we might be stuck with this for a while. But the Optre devs have at least stated they intend to change it. Of course, we'll see whether or not that happens further down the road. And then, kind of wrapping us up with armor, we have new air assault helmet variants. Wow, there, I kind of tripped over that. It's been a while since I've done one of these videos, hasn't it? Anyways, yeah, new air assault helmet variants are coming out. This is just new colors, and that's it. Same model, but yeah, different color variety, so that's great. Then we have weapons. So for weapons, we have the Etika, I believe it's how it's pronounced. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it's George's M247. And it's a portable M247 that you can carry around with you. Spartans can use this, or regular infantry can use this. And it's a great weapon. I love it. It's just fun to use. I love the M247 platform, and it's even better when it's mobile. And since we'll probably never get Falcon door gunners, this is at least a great temporary replacement as far as I'm concerned. With that being said, yeah, there's not much else to say about it. It's just basically the same M247 we had, except for mobile, so it's cool stuff. Then we have some new rocket variants for the Swanker. Now, this isn't the most exciting thing to necessarily talk about, but it's definitely one of the more, I would say, viable or useful things that doesn't really get appreciated as much. So we've got smoke rockets, and we've got proximity rockets, which explode in close proximity, which is great for air, anti-air stuff. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's not the flashiest thing. It doesn't really necessarily look great on paper when you're putting it down. It's not the thing that most people get excited for, but it is very useful when you actually start getting down to like ops and stuff, and having the ability to just rocket down a big plume of smoke to cover somebody's advance from a distance or something, or again if you're fighting off air units. Then in terms of weapons, well, I don't know if this is quite a weapon necessarily, but Web Knight's melee mod is finally starting to get work done for the Spartan skeletons. So this is still work in progress. This isn't in any build yet, but Web Knight has been working to integrate the Spartan skeletons into the melee mods so that they're compatible, and presumably that's going to mean it's going to work with the elites, which is why I'm really looking forward to seeing elites with energy swords. But yeah, pretty awesome stuff, and it's something I know a lot of you guys in the community have been waiting for. So let's talk about vehicles, because there is no good way to segue into vehicles from Melee. But yeah, the Mongoose got an update, so new textures. I don't think it was a new model, but yeah, various improvements, probably performance tweaks, stuff like that. I don't know the full details of what got changed on it, but a number of improvements to the Mongoose. Then we have the new Scorpion Take variant, the artillery variant. We've talked about this a number of times on the channel before. It is now officially in-game. Of course, I would have personally preferred like the Kodiak, the Fox Cannon, or the Rhino, which are actual like lore variants of the artillery. But with that being said, we have sorely lacked sci-fi artillery. So even though this isn't canon, and I would have preferred like one of the canon designs or one of the designs from an actual Halo game, I am happy to see any sci-fi artillery. As you guys can see, we've got the camouflage netting and all the extra add-ons and stuff here in the video. So there's a bunch of add-ons and different camouflages and stuff you can change. But again, we've talked about all that before. So you guys get to see the commander position, which has a gun that fires. It's a solid vehicle. There's no denying that. But there's not too much to say. It's artillery. It's cool. Then the Orc's got a bit of an update, so now it has ERA add-on panels that can be put on through the editor. These panels do function. They weren't functional originally when it came out due to some issues with it. So now it does have explosive reactive armor, that you can use. And then we'll wrap up. Well, we'll wrap up with ground vehicles with a civilian add-on. The Genet got a new model. New textures, obviously, as a result of that. So yeah, we've got the new Genet finally in the game. Of course, this is something a lot of you guys aren't necessarily going to be using on ops. I'm sure a few of you guys will, but at the very least, even if a lot of people aren't necessarily driving it, I love having these extra civilian vehicles because, at the very least, they make for a awesome prop. And at the very best, they are an actual usable asset too. So even better. And to wrap us up with the vehicles, we have the Falcon. Falcon got a new model, as a result new textures too, of course. The textures are work in progress from what was posted, so we'll probably end up expecting to see a replacement for those down the road again. Still no door gunner though. That's really all I want, but no, it's great. The Falcon's definitely a heavily used asset, so I know a lot of you guys are probably going to be excited to have this in, and not much else to say about it though. It's not the first time we've seen these updates to the Falcon, and it probably won't be the last, it sounds like. So we'll see what happens with it in the future here. Hopefully we'll get the door gunner though. So yeah, okay. So let's switch over to something else that's getting refurbished. So there's a lot of that for Operation Trebuchet right now. Maps, a lot of maps. Night Wizard has not only been overhauling his maps, but pretty much every other map in Optray. and he's gotten permission to basically go in and fix up all these other maps that are in the mod from various different creators. And we've got changes that include new textures, new areas, specifically like Phobos that he has. He's added asteroid bases, which is kind of neat. They're really high up, so the armor freefall thing is going to be an issue unless you have mods that stop that from happening. But it's awesome stuff. The maps look a lot better. The textures on maps like Blood Gulch look significantly better. Irberus has new building locations and stuff like that. So a lot of exciting changes there, and I'm happy to see all of it. So really looking forward to seeing what other changes, because it seems like NATO Wizard isn't actually done changing all these maps up yet. Probably the biggest change, though, is Gridlock. That is worth mentioning specifically because all the bridges and stuff have been fixed. Gridlock's been broken for some time, basically rendering it unusable. Gridlock's fixed. So if you want to do ops and stuff on Gridlock, it is viable to use it again as a functioning map. So that is worth mentioning. So, First Contact. We'll start off with a weapon. The concussion rifle was added to First Contact. If you guys aren't familiar with the concussion rifle, it's kind of sort of a grenade launcher. It's an area of effects weapon. Pretty cool stuff. It's definitely a devastating weapon and something that you're probably not going to want to go up against if you can avoid it. If you're using it, you're going to have an absolutely fun time, and it's great, and I love this thing. So I'm really excited to have that add-on. This one isn't specifically First Contact, but I've included it in First Contact just because it's kind of got a sci-fi twist. I really shouldn't have. I should have included it in just the regular app tree, but here it is. Vehicle hijacking has been added to the game. This one I have mixed feelings on. Obviously, vehicle hijacking is in Halo, and in Halo it feels like an awesome feature. In First Contact it feels a little bit weird because you're probably going to be playing as a human most of the time, and it seems kind of weird that like a single ODST or Marine can just run up to a Scorpion tank and just kick 3 elites out of it. You know, so that's kind of weird to me. But it is, it's an interesting feature. Now, I haven't really been playing a lot in my 6-month absence, but hopefully there's a way to stop this from being used on servers if units or, you know, server hosts just don't want people doing that, because it could potentially kind of ruin a lot of ops and stuff I see. But other than that, I do like always having extra features, as long as there's a way to kind of, you know, some of the more, I would say, divisive features, if there's an easy way to kind of separate those out and not necessarily have to use them. It's part of the reason First Contact was made a separate mod, as opposed to just getting integrated into Operation Trebuchet, was that way the armor community, which didn't really like sci-fi as much back then, could just easily have just human content with Operation Trebuchet, and even though it'd still be sci-fi content, it was much more grounded and realistic, and all the Covenant aliens and stuff could easily be kept out of servers. Yeah, now let's go ahead and let's actually go back to First Contact stuff, though, because we're kind of getting a little bit off track here. So anyways, with First Contact, we're going to wrap up with a new vehicle getting added, the Spectre. So this one's really awesome. I really like the Spectre. It's, you know, it's basically a nice counter to the Warthog. It carries 4 people, a driver, a gunner, and then 2 passengers, 1 on each side, just like in Halo. Looks great, you know, great materials and everything. I don't know if it's still going to be work in progress. It sounds like there might be additional variants we can expect, so I don't know if we'll expect a fuel rod variant or something else, maybe a needler variant. I don't know, we'll have to wait and see. But that was kind of the suggestion by the most recent patch notes, so again, we'll post that when it happens, if there is any changes or anything worth mentioning. Other than that, guys, that is today's video. So we came in about 15 minutes. I think we did pretty good for 6 months worth of news. I did try to rush through this a little bit, and of course, given that 6 months have passed by, there is a good chance I've missed some stuff. There was definitely a lot of smaller details that I glossed over, a lot of stuff I'm aware of that I just simply didn't include because it's a little less newsworthy. But what I want to do is I want to put a rolling list of the patch notes up on the screen so you guys can see that and read that as it goes through, and then I guess just have paused it when you're reading it if you need to. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching. If I did miss anything for Operation Trebuchet, let me know in the comments below. If you guys are a mod author for Arma 3 and Halo stuff, Let me know in the comments below if there's any news or anything you guys want to share, or of course hit me up on Discord. Our Discord link is in the information section below, so you can join us over there. And if you guys want to get me up to date on your mods or anything, I'm trying to find out and get caught up on everybody else's mods so we can do the rest of this video. But again, let me know in the comments below. Alright, thank you guys. Take it easy. I'll see you all in the next one.